Hi guys, welcome to today's video. Hope you're all doing well. My name is Zanny and it has been such a long time since the last film. I have a bit of a list because I changed my retainers with my Swiss version of Invisalign, so bear with me. But I really wanted today to film because one, it's Sunday, I have nothing else to do, and tomorrow I go back to work for an entire week of stress, and two, I really wanted to talk about this album, so you write the title, you know what it is all about. So today we will be talking about Oneus' sixth mini album called Blue Moon. We have a bunch of tracks that I really wanted to share my thoughts on, and I did ask you on my community tab what you wanted to see next, and you chose this one. So the next one will be on Twice's latest album, The Formula of Love. And of course, I'm late for pretty much every single thing, but because I did quit my job and I'm going through a lot and actually end my contract at the end of December, it has been like a lot of things going on, a lot to deal with, and I'm going through it. And I hope you understand, and I hope you still like, enjoy, and subscribe. Yay! And also, let's not forget that Oneus has finally gotten their first ever win during show Chapin for the title track of this mini album called Luna. So bravo, Oneus! I'm really proud of you. I'm proud to be a fan of yours, and I do think that Oneus does truly deserve this award, and I hope that they will receive many more with future releases because they're so freaking talented. Like, they deserve it, in my opinion. And so let's jump right into it and talk about all the 7 tracks that we have here on this album. So the first one is called Intro Window, featuring Choi Ye-rim, who is a famous Korean singer. And actually, I did not know what meant kukak, and actually it is just to say like she's a traditional Korean singer. So it's a very specific technique which I freaking love, especially in those types of tracks as the Intro Window, as it blends those traditional Korean elements with more modern pop types of sounds and aesthetics. For the performance video that they released alongside of this track, they were also wearing hanboks, so it created this very unique atmosphere, blending old and new, and I freaking love that. The way they performed was so freaking nice, and this song has a very creepy element for the beginning. The intro of it is very, very intense, as it sort of explains the tale that is about to unfold during the entirety of this mini album, as Choi Ye-rim sings about 6 immortal demons that have been stuck here for decades, for centuries, and they were never really able to find their loved one who they were looking for, and they really want to end it all, but they have not found how. And so it creates this sort of tale of those demons that really want to find the one, like a sort of K-drama-esque plot line of the star-crossed lovers that cannot find a way to be together, and sort of takes you in this journey, which the very beginning is very creepy, but the fact that we are talking about demons and all really explains it really well, and it all feels very haunting as well, which I appreciate, and it sort of set the tone for the songs coming afterwards. Talking about that, Luna, which is a title track from this mini album, really continues what the intro started. We have here for this song as well a blend of Korean traditional elements like the flute and other instruments, and also the more modern take of all like the synths, the beat and everything, and mixes it really well together. Like the blend of old and new is done again for the title track, and I freaking love it. Plus there's some elements, especially for the chorus, that makes me think that it is still a little bit in that retro trend that was so popular in K-pop for the last almost a year, or even no more than that now. I think it started like in October of 2020, so we have like we are in December now, so we have passed that. But I do think that this song Luna was really reminiscent of Lit, as it was the first track that really mixed and blended the traditional Korean instrumental and sort of inspiration with the more modern take of music and K-pop and like what was popular at the time. And so I find that to be really interesting. Ido and Raven did participate in the writing for this one, as they did for most of the tracks in this album, which is very impressive. And then continue their fantastical story or even tale of the cross lovers storyline, as they reminisce, saying, like a dream that disappears overnight, you are so beautiful under the moon. The dance break is really intense, and I would love to see the live version with the real traditional instruments. I think it would be amazing if one time they decide to do that for a show or something like that. I would love to see that. And Oneus not only is a group that is such a great performer, but they are also great singers and rappers, and they did prove it to me once more with this track. I find so beautiful the vocals of So and Kyoni. They sound so freaking good for the high notes and the control and what they can transmit with their vocals. Ido, he is an amazing rapper and singer, and I find it to be so freaking cool that he can switch so easily, so effortlessly between the two. Xian is singing so much more now, and I find that to be so freaking cool. Not as much as the two main vocalists, that's for sure, but he's singing more and more, and that I appreciate a whole lot. Hwangdong is Hwangdong. No, mon dieu, c'est pas du tout ça. There are a bunch of different layering of belting and ad-libs, and they all sound so freaking good. And overall, this song is so freaking catchy. It has this very mystical and sort of fantastical atmosphere to it, which just takes us into this journey with them, this tale of the star-crossed lovers that are looking for one another but not being able to be together in the end. And like, I'm in for the ride. I like it a whole lot. They sound so freaking good. Ravian's rap also is so freaking nice, and I do love how they are able to mix the vocal line with the rap line with the Korean instrumentals, traditional Korean instrumentals and everything, and make it come together in a very coherent and cohesive track. When it comes to the MV, the visuals are so freaking beautiful, and it continues what I just mentioned, the vibe that the song has created. It continues to show it as well. We have like petals floating. It looks very mystical, very beautiful. They wear the handbooks as well as the hand fans, and it all looks so pretty. Like there are some beautiful shots of them like just looking into the horizons and looking so freaking beautiful. The visuals of Oneus are top notch, and they proved it once more. The performance was really nice as well. We have a dance break during the MV, and I freaking loved it. It was so nice how they integrated the hand fans for the choreo, and I just had a blast with it. Super, super nice. Then we have Yes or No. Which was co-composed and co-written by Raven as well as Ido. And I never know if I have to say like Ravian, Raven, I don't know, but let's say that. Plus one of you actually told me how to pronounce it, but I couldn't find the comment, so it was a whole thing. I apologize in advance. I hope I'm trying my best. So Yes or No, according to the album description, it is a continuation of Polaris that was in their previous album Binary Code. And it definitely continues a little bit that retro feeling that we had in Luna, and something that is very popular still in the K-pop world right now. I really love the brass and the funky beats. It is super catchy, especially the chorus. And even if they have a very pessimistic mindset for the lyrics about love and everything, let's not forget that they are 6 immortal demons looking for the loved one, looking to feel something or to die because they just want to get over this life because it has been for so long. They are still looking for love, saying a day without you is a disaster. All day, I only have you all day. So a very pessimistic vibe still, because they are like questioning, yes, I know you want to be with me, but still they admit that a day without them is not a good day. It feels lonely, feels like it is a disaster. So it was really nice to see them going through it all in the take that yes or no takes, and that I appreciated a whole lot. Then we have Life is Beautiful, which was released a few months back in one of their Oneus theater performances, MV releases. I don't know exactly how to call it. And they had done Dead Poets Society inspired performance and MV, and I freaking loved it. It looked so freaking nice, very chill. Like the song overall has very chill vibes, and it is about like the beauty of life, so you cannot expect something very dark. So it's kind of normal, and I didn't really enjoy how fresh it was. And I think the fact that they released it, I think it was in August, right after the release of Shut Up Crazy Hot. I think it was right afterwards, and I think it was in August because, like, I think it was that. But that's besides the point. Just to say that it was really nice that they decided to release it then, because it really suited the vibe of the MV and that time period. Like, it's still summer outside. Like, you have this very optimistic vibe, and it is a nice contrast with the previous song, Yes or No, and it has a different take on it as well, and I appreciate that a whole lot. And this song is definitely a summer bop. It feels very wholesome and like almost having this healing quality to it, and the flute is a very, very lovely addition to the instrumentation. And continue with Oneus theater performances and these releases that they did. The next one is Shut Up Paco Crazy Hot. Shut up, Paco Crazy Hot. And this one was so freaking intense. I actually made a video on it, but then I took it down because I didn't like what I said there. And well, sometimes it happens. Sometimes I go through like ups and downs and I'm like, okay, I dislike this video. It's awful. And not a lot of you watched it. I was like, it's so sad, but that's besides the point. This song and actually the performance of it was so freaking intense, both of them. Like we have a song that starts out with the piano notes and Raven holding the chains and the members surrounding him, and right from there you're like, oh, this is going to be a dope release, and it surely was. You say it like that? I think you say it like that. It carries a lot of power without losing its quirkiness. The performances are amazing, the vocal work is super solid, and let's not forget the video that is inspired by Mad Max and all the shots of them dancing in the desert, then having the huge truck behind them and the explosion of fire and everything looked so freaking cool. And it showed yet again another side of Oneus and their versatility. Like we went from Luna, the very mystical track, to then a very pessimistic but groovy and funky track with Yes or No, then Life is a Beauty, Life is Beautiful, which is very healing, very wholesome, and then pop. Like, let's have their badass side showing with Shut Up, Paco Crazy Hot. And it was so freaking intense. The rap sections were so nice. This one I was really like, wow, about it. And if you thought that we would stop there with all the different changes, we have another one with We're in Love. Which is a very soft, dense track, like pop song. The instrumentation has this very like lovely build up for the pre-chorus, and the chorus is super catchy. It's one of those songs that stucks with you in a very lovely way, which is another great contrast with the previous track. And I'm mentioning this because most of the time I do listen to the songs in one go, like the entire album. And I think that when you release a full-length album, more than when you release a mini album, but you sort of are trying to tell a story with all the songs in your mini album. And I really love it that no matter how different all the songs are from one another when it comes to the instrumentation, they all are talking about different perspectives on this tale that they set it up with the intro. And for this one, the vocals are super soft, very lightweight, and it's really well balanced with the rap verses as well. And this song actually takes us back to the beauty of this first love, this first relationship, and how deep it can go of being in love, and compares this journey to a wave, saying, I can go anywhere on this wave, wherever you are. And it feels very much so like an OST K-drama soundtrack, and I do really enjoy that. Every album deserves to have a song like this one. Which leads us to the last song on this album, called Who You Are, that follows more on the R&B style, which is very different from the previous songs that we have here.
I don't know.
And this one, I think, is a nice closer to this album. The vocals are very sexy, the instrumentation really adds on to that overall feeling, plus it is R&B, so we always have that sort of feeling when you listen to R&B tracks. And it is during this song that they realize that they don't know anymore who the person that they are in love with is, and they sort of come to the realization that they are in a one-way relationship, but also they don't really feel like that person cares about them, saying the distance between the two of us is a bit far. Don't answer vaguely. What am I to you, huh? And as they come to this realization, we come to the end of the album, as this track marks the end of their exploration of love and come to terms with this love story of like those two star-crossed lovers that, after looking for one another for such a long time, actually don't know each other anymore and are not really in love anymore. And I find that to be a really nice conclusion to the album, with a title such as Blood Moon, we could have expected something very dramatic and very tragic for the end of the album, and we got it, and I love it. And it's like a story that they are telling us from A to B, with a lot of ups and downs, being very pessimistic about love, but then being very happy and grateful for life and how beautiful it is, and recognizing it all, and then coming to the conclusion that perhaps the one in front of you doesn't love you any longer, and you are doing all of this, but you just want to have a clear answer and end it all. So guys, overall, Blue Moon, woohoo! Overall for me, Blood Moon by Oneus, it's a really nice addition to the discography. It's another mini album that is so good, so cohesive, so much fun to listen to in one go. Today I was doing my workout and I've listened to it over and over again, like twice. Let's not exaggerate, like twice, but it's already super nice to be able to listen to it over and over again and just have a nice ride. And Oneus has definitely become an expert when it comes to blend the more contemporary pop instrumentation and style with the more traditional Korean style. I think that they do it so freaking well, and it sort of has become a little bit of their branding. But it's so cool as well that with the other B-sides, they are able to explore different styles, different genres, and sort of offer that to the fans that can sort of be like, okay, I prefer this style. And so they do not get stuck in that one style for their title tracks of blending those two elements, the modern and the old, let's say, or the traditional. And so I find it really cool that they are able to do that and then experiment a little bit more with their B-sides, which I know it's normal. Most groups do that, if not all groups do that. But I find it to be really cool that they experiment a lot with it while still maintaining a very cohesive story for their album. So guys, those are overall all of my thoughts. I hope this video won't be that very lengthy. Thank you, editing me, for making it shorter, because lately I've been posting very lengthy videos and I really wanted to spice it up a little bit and change that a little bit. So the next one that will be coming up very soon is Twice's The Formula of Love album review, so stick around for that. Do not forget to tell me your own thoughts and opinions about this album. What did you think about it? Which songs are your favorites from it? And yeah guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it. Don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and even click that little bell icon so you are notified whenever I post new videos. And I hope I will be seeing you in my next one. Bye! I don't know